Ha ha! Happy Halloween! Today we're going to. This year we're going to celebrate with the spookiest Resident Evil game in the series. I think I did this exact same joke last year. It's been 1 year. Oh, it's fucking It's been 1 year since I started the Resident Evil 6 playthrough on Halloween also, which was just funny fortuitous timing. Every year around Halloween, I find myself playing Resident Evil for some reason. Yeah, I say this is the spookiest Resident Evil game, but like, honestly, because it's so bad. That's the joke. It's the spookiest Resident Evil game because it's like so fucking goddamn atrocious. No. Do not play Resident Evil without tank controls, you fucking charlatans.
A Midwestern town in America. Raccoon City.
Midwestern.
Solitary island far off in the
That's
sea.
Code Veronica.
Fort Island. An island that would become the second.
That's Gun Survivor. That is referencing Resident Evil Gun Survivor. I cannot believe that game is fucking canon. They were really scraping the bottom of the barrel at this point. It was weird. The pre-Resident Evil 4 world was very fucking weird. None of these questions matter. No one fucking cares.
And how was the T-virus?
All of these questions are fucking stupid. No one fucking gives a shit about what fucking... who established the Umbrella Corporation. Like, yeah. You know how prequels always have this problem where, like, you present all, like, you can imply some kind of history about the token black guy, about stuff that happened in the past of the franchise, but any attempt to, like, show those events will necessarily be disappointing because nothing you show us will be better than what we imagine in our own heads. The audience's imagination from what you don't show will always be better and more interesting and intriguing and satisfying than just, like, trying to figure it out. And it's always a mistake, too, because whenever you make a prequel, you didn't have these answers in mind when you wrote the original. So you have, like, you wrote the original, and then you're like, okay, now we need to think of an explanation for these questions after the fact. So it's, like, it's not gonna make any fucking sense.
It began as a simple investigation of some bizarre murders in the suburbs of Raccoon City. Nothing in our
None of these characters exist outside of FMV. They didn't make a character model for any of these motherfuckers. But this is like no reason. By the way, the helicopter crashed for no reason. Bravo team was out in the woods investigating the cannibal murders, and just their helicopter engine just crapped out because someone stuck gum in the engine, I guess. That's it. Like, Bravo team going missing was the instigating event behind the original game.
Check the current position and investigate the...
And it's just, their helicopter just pooped the bed, you know? It's fucking retarded. But this game has this opposite problem where it's going like, hey, let's answer all these questions. It reminds me of that joke from Futurama, where it's like, how did my house burn down? That's a very good question. That's where I left my cigar. That just raises further questions. This is the opposite, where it's like, hey, who founded the Umbrella Corporation? No one cares. Well, here's the answer. That just raises further questions. That's a stupid answer to a question no one cared about.
Those poor soldiers. They were good men just doing their jobs, and that scum murdered them and escaped.
All right, everyone, let's separate and survey the area. Our friend is brutal and ruthless. Keep your guard up.
What? All of a sudden, the mission becomes, hey, let's look for Billy Cohen? Like, what? You guys are here investigating cannibal murders, right? Like, victims were found in their homes, eaten to death, and you're out here investigating in the woods for some fucking reason. That still never is explained or makes any sense. Their helicopter crashes because... and they find some fucking, like, military police truck. Just... bleh. Okay, now let's just look for... What happened to your original mission? Why aren't you still looking for the cannibal murders? Now, all of a sudden, you give a shit about whatever this crap is? That's not your jurisdiction. Oh, man. This game is fucking retarded. This game is so fucking bad. The pre-Resident... I think the only... It does look really gorgeous, though. This is like, oh, shit. Why would they change that? Oh, God. They... Can I get a controls option here? Why is run and... That's so weird. Why wouldn't you have a consolidated control scheme between your HD re-release of this and Remake? Oh my god, that's so fucked. That's gonna fuck me up. Goodness gracious. So fucking Rebecca, the team medic, comes to her mission to track down cannibal murders with 30 fucking extra bullets, along with her fully loaded fucking Beretta handgun. I think Rebecca is the single most well-equipped at the beginning of the game Resident Evil protagonist in the history of the franchise. I can't think of a single other character in the entire franchise that starts out as loaded for fucking war as Rebecca here is. And she's the fucking medic. That's so silly. This game does look gorgeous, though. This is just straight up using the engine from Remake. Yeah, why did they have Gun Survivor? That's so bizarre. They were really scraping the bottom of the barrel. There wasn't, like... They had 2 games based around Raccoon City, and then they had Code Veronica, and I guess they were going, like, we need, like, Raccoon City and Rockford Island. That's it? I guess they were, like, really trying to think of other, like, natural zombie outbreak disasters they could list. So they went fucking Gun Survivor of all things. Which is just fucking weird. Yeah, this game's pretty fucking atrocious. Like, the title for, like, worst Resident Evil game in the franchise is pretty hotly contested. Actually, no, it's not. That's not true at all. It's not hotly contested at all. Oh, you're not dead yet? Come on, buddy. So, most people don't kill these zombies, but if you do...
What just happened? I thought they were dead.
You get an extra FMV for no reason. It's pretty stupid. That's not true at all. The title for worst Resident Evil game is not hotly contested at all. The worst Resident Evil game is Resident Evil 6. Like, I feel like that's pretty fucking indisputable at this point. Resident Evil 6 is the worst Resident Evil game, hands down, period. I would seriously put games like Resident Evil Gun Survivor over Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 6 was, like, terrible. That game was so bad it gave me, like, a fucking existential crisis. But I won't talk about that here, because I already did an entire playthrough of that terrible fucking game last year, and it just... Goodness gracious, was it terrible. I'm in caution, but I'm not limping. Does this game not have limping animations? I forget. Oh man, this game's fucking... But like, pre-Resident Evil 4, I feel like the classic era of Resident Evil is a little bit more hotly contested, which is the worst classic Resident Evil game. Because like Resident Evil 1, like the original, it has aged pretty poorly, but Like, I still feel like Resident Evil the original gets by on a lot of charm of being the first one, and like the presentation. Then there's like Code Veronica is also pretty fucking bad, all things considered. There's all the spin-offs like Gun Survivor, and then there's fucking this shit. This is like, seriously, this is one of the worst fucking Resident Evil games in the franchise. It's pretty fucking bad. Like, I can't even go with, like, the reasons this game is bad are, I'm probably not even going to be able to get to all of them. I'm not going to get trapped and accidentally do a full playthrough of this game, though, thank goodness.
Lieutenant Cohen.
So, you seem to know me. Fantasizing about me, have you?
I'm an inexplicably really popular character for no reason.
Outside.
Oh, I see. You're with Stars. Well, no offense, honey.
How is Stars internationally recognized?
I'm afraid our little chat.
They're a SWAT team for a podunk little 100,000 population city in Midwestern America.
Shoot, you know.
But I won't. I could, though. And yet, every time, like, in Resident Evil 3, there's also a scenario where Jill's like, I'm Stars.
You all right?
And people are like, oh shit, Stars. Like, what's so fucking impressive about Stars? It's stupid.
You must be careful.
This character is just an entire walking retcon that makes no sense.
Zombies and monsters.
Zombies and monsters.
I like how fucked up Edward is. You just got mauled by dogs, dude. How do you get that fucked up looking from dogs? Like, he's got like a weird bite on his cheek and shit. Come on. Ah, fucking dogs. Rebecca's so fucking weak in this game, too. Come, get the fuck off. I hate you, dogs. How is that a fucking trophy? Did I? Yep, I'm in caution. Fucking a stiff breeze can knock Rebecca down to caution in this fucking game. You were so happy just a few hours ago. Yeah, that's how dying works. Idiot. So, like, I don't even know why they invented this character from absolutely nothing. I don't even have time to go into that right now. I literally don't even have time to go into how that character existing makes no sense. I don't know why everyone, like, inexplicably was all over Billy Cohen. He's a... Like, he doesn't do anything in the game that's, like, he's a bad character, but, like, there's just nothing to him. He just shows up in this game and then is never seen again, and there's... Like, I don't see what's so fucking impressive about him.
This is Rebecca. Over.
No.
Enrico! Hello! Can you read me? Please respond.
Rebecca, I can hear you. Now listen up. We've obtained detailed information on the fugitive
From where?
found in the wreck.
Are you still at the wrecked truck?
23 people.
Fucking Rebecca found a train, Edward got mauled by dogs, and Enrico...
So keep your guard up.
Rebecca, be careful! Rebecca! He's Jewish, Rebecca!
Stay alert, Rebecca. Think twice before killing him.
And get your shekels!
Enrico! Captain!
Are they
Hello?
Enrico and the rest of Bravo team are still just circle jerking around that fucking wrecked car. Rebecca found a train. What do you mean searching the train? Why? Why are you searching the train? And Edward got killed. You're not gonna fucking tell Enrico about Edward getting mauled to death?
It's gonna be dangerous from here on in.
From here on in.
Cooperate with you?
Yeah.
Listen, little girl, if you haven't noticed, there's some pretty freaked out things on this train. And I, for one, want to get out of here. I don't think we stand a chance doing it alone.
You expect me to trust you, a wanted felon?
A wanted felon? No one talks like this.
And don't call me little girl.
All right, Miss Do-It-Yourself. What should I call you?
The name is Rebecca Chambers, but that's Officer Chambers to you.
Well then, Rebecca, why don't you go and try while I wait here?
Try what? Go and try what? What is she trying? What is happening? You know, like, the original Resident Evil is famous for having terrible voice acting, but the original Resident Evil had terrible voice acting that was funny. The voice acting in this and Remake are just regular bad. Like, they're not funny bad. They're just, like, bargain bin, like, everyday terrible voice acting. That's just, like, the delivery is totally off. The cadence of how they're talking makes no fucking sense. There's no chemistry between the characters, and I don't know what the fuck they're even talking about.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
So here's the foundation of this game, is leeches. You know how some of the Resident Evil games will have, like, an iconic monster that the game is defined by, like Nemesis? Resident Evil 2 had the Lickers. That doesn't make any sense, by the way. And just for no reason, all of the leeches drop dead. Except for these two specifically. Aw, cool Matrix jump. Look at how cool Billy Cohen is, you guys. Fuck it. Eh, fuck this, let's go. Like, Resident Evil 2 had the Lickers. This game's big, iconic fucking monster is the leeches. Oh, here we fucking go. Hey, Final Fantasy, what are you doing in my Resident Evil game? You got your Final Fantasy in my Resident Evil game. Why?
Who is that guy?
A douchebag.
What's going on? Who's
What?
controlling the train?
Good question!
The first engine car. Listen, we gotta cooperate with each other from now on. You got
No, we
that?
don't.
Well, I don't...
Clue in, girl. Or maybe you like being worm bait.
All right. But you just remember, I will shoot you if you try anything funny.
Fine. Now take these with you.
Oh yes, even more bullets.
If you find anything...
I think I have more bullets on hand right now. Yeah, don't discuss frequencies or anything. You just both randomly have walkie-talkies that are just happen to be on the same frequency as each other. Doesn't that mean Enrico would be hearing their conversations? Also, I have 71 fucking bullets! Like, holy shit. Okay, Billy, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Hey, look at this. Here's a cool innovation of this Resident Evil title. You can just drop it on the fucking floor. Behold, the knife is now on the floor. What an amazing innovation. Truly something that should have been in the series long before now. Only problem is this game doesn't have fucking item boxes. So, man, it's not even gonna, like, matter pretty soon, but we can exchange, and we're gonna go ahead and exchange all of Rebecca's bullets and give them over to Billy here, because we're about to just say goodbye to Rebecca for a little while. But look at this, 86 fucking bullets. That is the most bullets I have ever had in a classic Resident Evil game. I think only in Resident Evil 4 have I ever had that many or more bullets. What kind of gun does Billy have? A standard issue army handgun. Is this just an M? Is this just a 1911? M9. 1911A1. It even looks a little bit like the one Snake has in MGS3 because of the trigger. Why does this standard army issue handgun have a customized trigger? Anyway. So we're about to say goodbye to Rebecca for a little while. I've talked before about the various reasons that classic Resident Evil died and action horror Resident Evil... Okay, how do I... Yeah, how do you, like, give orders? I totally didn't read that file. Okay, so it's touchpad. I think that's like making up for some GameCube button configuration that can't specifically be emulated on a PS4 controller or something. Oh, what a conspicuously placed hole in the roof. There's a lot of reasons that classic Resident Evil died and action horror Resident Evil, like, took prominence. And I gotta say, this game is probably a big reason why that happened. Just... fucking ate shit. So that scene makes no sense. But regardless. Okay, good, actually, because Rebecca was... There we go. Oh, I love this, too. So, Billy has the standard issue male Resident Evil item of a Zippo lighter. It's out of fuel! Billy, you're fucking useless! Why do people like Billy? He doesn't even have a fucking full lighter. But Rebecca, she doesn't have a lockpick. She has a fucking retarded, like, herb mixing kit because she's a medic. But you know what that... Because, like... So, Rebecca is the only character who can mix herbs. But that's retarded, because what that means is Billy can't mix herbs. So if Billy's holding herbs, he can't combine them together to make a combined green herb, or red and green herb, or anything like that. He has to give the herbs over to Rebecca. And the reason they did that was so that, like... Oh, they can say, like, each character has, like... That change button is gonna fuck me over. Each character has, like, a special skill, like, Billy has more durability, he can take more damage, but Rebecca can mix herbs. But what that means is that Rebecca... What that means is Billy can't mix herbs. Meaning Billy is the only character in the entire Resident Evil franchise who can't mix fucking herbs. Fucking Sherry Birkin can mix herbs. But fucking Billy can't. Why can't Billy mix herbs? Why is all of a sudden this is being retconned as like some kind of weird special skill of Rebecca specifically? Every character in the entire franchise has been, goddamn, the square button. And the franchise until now has been able to mix herbs. So that doesn't, like, give Rebecca something useful as a character skill. Because, like, oh look, she can mix herbs. Which is, like, the game design reason they did that. What it does is it says Billy is fucking retarded because he can't mix herbs. Of every character in the entire franchise, he is the only one who can't mix herbs. Ugh. So, part of the reason that Resident Evil made the drastic shift to action horror was because Resident Evil 4 was so fucking good, and it changed the face of the gaming industry forever, and yada yada yada. But the other reason that Resident Evil stopped being a classic survival horror franchise is because of REmake and this game, and to a lesser extent, there were a bunch of re-releases of the old PS2, of the old PlayStation games. all got re-released on the GameCube, like rapid fire. But, like, it was oversaturation. That's one of the reasons. One of the reasons is the genre just got oversaturated and people were fucking goddamn sick of it. People were sick of fixed camera angle, tank control, classic survival horror Resident Evil. Like, I don't know if you remember what it was like at that time, but at that time, during that period, right before Resident Evil 4 came out, pretty much, people were fucking sick of these games. Because there were so many, one after another. Like, there was REmake, which was amazing, but it bombed. Like, REmake fucking bombed. It did terribly. It didn't do well sales-wise whatsoever, and it's actually kind of shameful. Get the fuck off me. It's actually kind of shameful. But, like, Resident Evil had, like, that wasn't, like, the first Resident Evil game or anything, you know? Like, REmake feels awesome and refreshing now because it's been so long. But at the time, REmake was just another Resident Evil game. Like, those games got churned out rapid fire one after another at a very high frequency. So that people were like, oh goody, another Resident Evil game. Oh, it's the first one again. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. So that game did not do well commercially whatsoever. Where the fuck is this key? There we go. And then this game also came out, and it was just atrocious. So guess what? It also bombed, because it was bad. Like, it was just straight up a bad game. Oh, look at these herbs I can't mix. Oh god, this stupid fucking briefcase that I need stupid fucking keys for. This is just explaining the stupid keys. Look at these herbs I can't mix. Watch this. I'm gonna pick this up just to show you I'm not bullshitting you here. Combine. Billy cannot use this. Only Rebecca can mix herbs. Because Billy's a fucking idiot. Billy Cohen, the stupidest moron in the entire Resident Evil franchise, can't even mix fucking herbs. What did that... Oh. Oh, that looks so goofy because of the pre-rendered background. So this game was atrocious and also sold poorly. And it was another classic Resident Evil game. Like, there was REmake, which was, at the time, considered another classic Resident Evil game. Look at this stupid little peach fuzz around his fucking mouth, too. And then they capitalized on the idea of REmake being a GameCube exclusive by re-releasing all of the old PS1 games on the GameCube also. So Resident Evil 2 and 3 also got GameCube releases, and those are fantastic games and all, but people were pissed. Because they were like, what the fuck, you just released REmake? And REmake was the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious awesome game that looked like it was a complete remake overhaul of the original game, and then you're gonna turn around and just release these old PS1 games on the GameCube too? Like, those games got ripped apart in reviews because people are going, what the fuck, you just did REmake, and now you're gonna shill this fucking swill and accept us to swallow it? No, good sir. No, sirree Bob. That will not fly. Sorry, not sorry. Use. Why even give us the option to use? I'll go ahead and take the shotgun and use it during the next boss fight, because there's no reason to save ammo for later in the game, because I'm just gonna get through this train section and be done with it. So in a way, like, you could reasonably blame this game for the downfall of classic Resident Evil, if you wanted to be a douchebag about it. Which sometimes I do feel like being a douchebag about it. Oh god, stop. God, these buttons! Why? Like, they released this alongside Remake HD on the PS4 here. Why wouldn't you consolidate a control scheme between them? Why would you have minute differences like that? Gotta make sure every single one breaks. So here is one of the biggest problems with Resident Evil 0 is every single boss is just a big blank. Fuck! There we go. Is just a big blank. This boss is just a big scorpion. There's a boss later that's just a big centipede. There's a boss later that's just a big bat. All of the bosses in this game are just a big something. Like, they're not weird, interesting, fucked up monstrosities. They're just, hey, you know that thing that exists? Well, here's a big version of it. There's like one unique... God damn it! There's like one unique boss in this game that isn't just a big animal of some sort. And it's a tyrant. Like, hey, here's our new awesome boss. It's just the tyrant. It's just another oh god damn it. And its death throes. One last douchebag move. Yeah, hey, remember the tyrant? You've only fought those all the fucking time throughout this series. There was the original tyrant. There's a tyrant in Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 3 had the Nemesis, which was just a different kind of tyrant. Code Veronica had a tyrant boss like, hey, here's our big new boss. It's the prototype tyrant. You can go ahead and have fun fighting that after you're done fighting the giant bat. Like, where did this game come from? Like, why did they make this game? It feels so weird. You know, like, hey, Shinji Mikami fucking hates Rebecca. So the idea, like, let's make a Rebecca game is kind of weird and out of place because why would you make a game about a character that you don't like? And you can feel that. You can feel the fact that, man, the creator of this franchise just does not give a shit about this character. You can feel the apathetic indifference to Rebecca's fucking existence in this game. Like, it's such a weird obligation feeling of, oh, fans really like fucking Rebecca for some stupid reason. Let's make a Rebecca game. And once again, I always continue to point this out. Why do they always say that Rebecca made it out of the Spencer estate? She's been in one game aside from the original game, and it's this, and it takes place before the mansion incident. She never showed up again. Why even still have this character in the franchise? It seems so weird to me. Where the fuck was the doll? I think it was on the other side of the fucking train. I do like the train. A train is a good setting for, like a horror story. Any kind of environment that's like, you cannot get out of this environment. Boats and trains are highly underutilized for horror stories like this. So that is kind of cool to have the first part of the game be on a train. That is kind of cool to have your setting for the zombie outbreak be a train. That's a small, enclosed environment that you can't really escape from if it's moving, because you can't jump off, you'll just die. Although they had to, like, come up with weird contrivances to get the train moving in the first place. And again, it doesn't make any sense why this train just suddenly started moving for no reason. I believe it was here. Yes. Oh. And boats. Boats are another really good setting for a horror story. And Resident Evil Revelations is the one that capitalized on zombies on a boat. Thank goodness. I think there was another game that was like Cold Fear or Fear Effect, something like that. That was also a Resident Evil 4 ripoff. That was like a horror game set on a boat. You'd think there'd be more of those. I think I can name all of the horror games that are set on a boat like off the top of my head on one hand. And I don't even know what like the fucking titles of most of them are. So like this whole game didn't need to exist. That's really the biggest problem against it. Is the entire idea is let's make a prequel game for us and answer all these questions.
Come on.
Yeah. For like questions that no one needed answers to. Like no one was asking who founded the fucking Umbrella Corporation. No one was asking like I think there's like one line of dialogue where the villain of this weird fucking that's a weird transition where a character's like it was like that guy, that Final Fantasy villain who was on the hill and singing. There we go. Fucking Rebecca's probably in caution now. Let me check. I bet she's in caution. Nope, okay. The guy on the hill who was like, it was me who unleashed the T virus in the Spencer estate. And it's like, really? Some weird leech fucker attacked the Spencer estate with leeches? That's what you're saying is the reason the outbreak happened in the Spencer estate in the original game? That's the big revelation that this game is answering? Like, that question didn't need answering. No one give a shit. No one would, oh, I wonder how the T virus outbreak happened. In the fucking Spencer estate. I mean, just a fucking weird scientist was walking around with a vial of T-virus. He tripped and dropped it. Like, that's all you need. Like, and that actually actively contradicts information from the original game. What's this, dude? Oh, right, this is from it.
Okay.
Because, like, look at this train. Look at what happened when the leeches attacked this train. It got immediately fucked up. Everyone got eaten by leeches. They're all dead and immediately got turned into zombies instantaneously. Right? So, the idea that weird Final Fantasy villain attacked the Spencer estate with his leeches doesn't even fucking make sense. Because we had all those, like, files of, like, 4 Itchy Tasty of people who were slowly succumbing to the T-virus. Like, they contracted the virus, and it was slowly causing them to develop symptoms and to decompose. So the idea that this Final Fantasy villain attacked the Spencer estate with his dumb leeches, and that's how the outbreak happened, contradicts things that were in the original game and in REmake. So, like, not only does it answer like, again, that just raises further questions. You're answering questions that no one needed the answers to because no one was asking that question. You can't just go filling non-existent plot holes with bullshit. That doesn't make any sense. So here's I don't even fucking, like, remember the reason I'm doing anything. Sometimes I just go into fucking autopilot with these goddamn Resident Evil puzzles. Is that a knife? Why would there be a second knife in this room that has a fucking puzzle solution in it? You never need one knife, let alone 2 knives. So all that cutscene was the leeches hatching. But don't worry, nothing ever comes of it. It's not like there's a leech boss on the train here. There are a bunch of stupid leeches walking around being dicks now, though. Oh, this area. I believe Rebecca's down this way, yeah. Here we go. Ugh. So, like, why make, like, this game was unnecessary, and it's atrocious. It feels like they made it. And, like, I don't even know why they made it. Ugh. Anyway. Like, I'm just going around circles. The fact that you can drop items on the floor and they went, oh, that means we don't need item boxes now, is so... It's like 2 steps back. Like, yeah, the idea of being able to drop items on the floor to free up inventory space, that's, yay, good. We needed that for a while now. Thanks for finally getting around to it. But then the problem is, you drop an item on the floor, and now that's where that item is forever now. You always, like, you can't put it, there's no item boxes in this game because they thought, oh, well, you can drop items, so you don't need item boxes. But, no, like, the function item boxes served was you could put items in the item box, and then that item will be in the item box later in the game. So you can dump a puzzle item early, and then when you get to the area where you'll need that puzzle item, you can just take it out of the item box there.
This is Delta Team. This is Delta Team. We have gained control of the train. Over.
Understood.
Ah.
This does not make any sense. How was the T-virus leaked? And why did it contaminate both the lab and the mansion, as well as a train almost 3 miles away?
That's irrelevant. We must
William Birkin, stop pointing out plot holes!
destroy the train completely.
Ooh. William, I will not have you pointing out plot holes in this stupid, unnecessary prequel.
What happened?
That guy opens the door and immediately also gets ganked by legions. So that's the whole setup of this game, is William Birkin. Hey, there's William Birkin, by the way. There's Sherry's dad, just chilling out in his lab. The environment they're in is the lab of Resident Evil 2. And he's just chilling out down there with Wesker. And they're going like, what the fuck? This whole plot's stupid. Like, Billy and here's the plot of this game. Billy and Rebecca just dick around, accomplishing absolutely nothing, while William and Albert have the most boring Saturday night known to history.
Crash. I gotta stop this thing.
I gotta stop this thing. Yeah, whatever. So Billy will stay behind and Rebecca will go.
I'll go over to the back deck and manipulate the control panel for the brake. You stay here and apply the brake when ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Rebecca.
Huh?
Don't screw up, okay?
I do like how this feels like the end of a Resident Evil game. So you start out with Rebecca running towards the door, but the item you need is sitting right here on the counter. So if you actually leave this room without picking that up, you're fucked, basically, because there's not enough time to run all the way back across the train. Jesus Christ. I get, like, they're giving you so much ammo because you're supposed to split it between 2 different characters. I get that, but goodness gracious. Like, oh man, like, I'm unloading so much on this game, like, early, and it's just this initial area that's not even gonna take an hour to finish. So So you don't even get the full extent of how fucking stupid this game is. Oh no, Edward. I literally forgot his name. That wasn't even a joke. So you might not even, like, get it. This is a game where, like, every single, like, from beginning to end, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Oh god. Look at all this shit. And, like, by the end of the game, you're just like, nothing has been fucking accomplished. You have actually ripped open new plot holes from whence none were in existence before, unnecessarily. The villain of this game doesn't make any fucking sense. The villain is that RPG, fucking, like, Final Fantasy dude who was sitting on the hill singing stupid opera, and it's like, that's a dumb thing to have in your Resident Evil game. I know the fucking Ashford twins were fucking pushing it, but that is an order of magnitude more retarded. Is like dainty Bishonen waifu boy in a weird dress who sings opera to control leeches. Oh no, it's Edward. So if you pick Billy to play as during this section, Edward will still be here, but you won't have this cutscene.
Don't come any closer.
Oh no, it's Edward. Don't worry, he's fucking dead. He is taking quite a lot of bullets. A very tough zombie. I feel like he's dead now, right? Yeah. Oh, but the zombie he was eating... That's weird. The idea of zombies eating other zombies is weird. Because, like, when you think about it, why was Edward eating that guy? He had already long been a zombie. There was no possibility of that zombie not being a zombie by the time Edward got to him, right? Like, he was already a corpse. He could not possibly have been alive. I feel like that raises a lot of questions about zombie fiction of why don't zombies eat each other? Oh no. Not only is this game ripping open plot holes in Resident Evil, but it's ripping open plot holes in zombie fiction in general. I do like how this does feel like the end of a Resident Evil game, though, because it means you can just go ahead and finish this Oh god, there's like a really easy way to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, no. Okay, just do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go.
This is Rebecca. I have engaged the control device for the break. Over.
Look at that background. Look at that JPEG just going by at 2 frames a second. Okay, and this one is 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 63, 72, 81. Like literally there is so much bad in this game that you can't get into all of the reasons that it's so terrible in less than an hour. And I finished the train section here in less than an hour. So you're just gonna have to take my word for it. And then the train, like, they pulled the brake, right? But it still crashed. And they both die. Immediately, both of them are dead. Billy Cohen, dead on impact. Rebecca, she was on the very back end of the train. She got thrown off, got knocked unconscious, woke up in the Spencer state. There we go. Both of these guys are dead. Everything we're seeing here is a lie. Billy Cohen, you're fucking dead. No one ever sees you again later in the series. People fan theoried for a while there that Billy was the basis for the Nemesis.
Rebecca?
Like, they got Billy and put the Nemesis parasite inside him or something. No, Billy's just dead. He died in the train crash. Rebecca got thrown clear from the train caboose and landed in front of the Spencer mansion. Oh my god, there's like literally the worst part about this game is something that happens at the very end, because like all classic Resident Evil games, you end up at a laboratory at the end of the game. Like, you go through 3 areas, the mansion, a secondary area, and 1 or 2 secondaries, and then the lab at the end. And in this game, you go to the lab in Resident Evil 2, and it makes no fucking sense, because it is stated that the location we are currently at and the Spencer estate are 8 miles away from Raccoon City. So they like, oh my god, it just doesn't make any fucking sense how they got to the lab in Resident Evil 2, which is in Raccoon City. So they traveled 8 miles, and Enrico is there, and he says, yo, all the other Bravo team members should be here too.
You're alive.
Are you okay, Rebecca?
Where is everybody?
They should have arrived here before me. Haven't you seen them?
They went from a wrecked, like, they were still fucking around at that wrecked convoy looking for Billy Cohen. And then they wandered back to Raccoon City and ended up in William Birkin's secret lab, and then walked back all the way 8 miles out to the Spencer's.
If we go straight from here, we should arrive at an old mansion which Umbrella uses for research. Come on, let's go.
It's so fucking retarded.
Who on earth are those people?
She's just a rookie, a member of STARS.
What about the male?
What about the
I'm
male?
unfamiliar with him.
Attention. This is Dr. Marcus. Please be silent as we reflect upon our company motto.
So enjoy this screen time with William Birkin, by the way. That's the guy who invented the G virus. He's the boss we're fighting throughout Resident Evil 2.
Who are you?
It was I who scattered the T-virus in the mansion.
Okay, all of our questions have been answered. We're done. Game's over. You can leave now.
Revenge on Umbrella.
Like, it could have just been some scientists dropped a fucking vial of T-virus. No, this weird opera singing fag unleashed the T-virus with his weird leeches, I guess. And that's how the T-virus broke out in the Spencer state. Okay, the end. We're done. The game's over.
10 years ago, Dr. Marcus was murdered by Umbrella. You helped them, didn't you?
This cutscene answers all of those stupid questions that were raised at the beginning of the game. Who founded the Umbrella Corporation? Apparently it was Dr. Marcus, and he created the T-virus or whatever, and then they killed him, and then the weird Bishi boy unleashed the T-virus in the mansion, and that's it. The entire rest of the game is pointless. The entire rest of the game is just Billy and Rebecca running around this big, stupid, fucking training facility. An entire second mansion, by the way, that was like a brisk hike away from the Spencer estate the whole time. And then it blows up at the end, and somehow they go to fucking William Birkin's lab somehow, and it was so fucking retarded that I had a brain aneurysm. And that's it. That's Resident Evil 0. This game sucks. It's so spooky. Look how spooky it is, because it's goddamn atrocious. That's the joke. It's spooky because it's terrible. Still not as bad as Resident Evil 6, though. So, unlike Resident Evil 6, I'm gonna escape from this game while I still have the chance. The end. Happy Halloween.